who gave birth to every taxpayer and citizen of this nation, we have fought for everybody else's equal rights. It's our time to have wage equality once and for all, and equal rights for women in the United States of America.
All right, because women don't have equal rights. I know she probably means the ERA, but she didn't even say that. Joining us now is Kyle Smith, deputy. He's I should say, a movie critic at the New York Post, columnist, Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist. Hello, Kyle. How are you?
Hi, great. How are you?
Good to talk to you. Let me ask you, the most liberal Oscars in recent memory?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it seemed like every winner had to have some sort of a talking point from the liberal Bible to get out there. I'm surprised nobody called for an increase in the EPA budget.
No, you're right. But I mean, you know, she started off pretty normal. I did a whole commentary on her on Monday, I believe. You know, really thanking this one, thanking that one. Then she got to some echo group that's a .org that she helps out with, that provides ecology for overseas countries or something. And then she got into this whole spiel about equal work. I mean, doesn't she understand? What doesn't the left get about the fact that Hillary Clinton paid 72 cents on the dollar to women to men when she was senator? Obama's in the 80% range. I mean, what don't they get? That and Hollywood's even worse. All they have to do is look in the mirror.
Yeah, plus, and who's cheering loudest for this? Jennifer Lopez and Meryl Streep, who make millions and millions of dollars for doing not very much work. I don't think the average American woman has a whole lot of sympathy for Jennifer Lopez's wage problems.
No, and of course there is no, this whole issue is a phony issue, because as the White House admitted when they were forced to address their own discrepancy, they said, well, there's mitigating circumstances, and of course there are, which makes this a phony issue.
Yeah, I mean, the only way that men and women are going to have exactly the same wages would be if men and women do exactly the same jobs with exactly the same seniority. I mean, most of the most tedious and most dangerous jobs are done by men. They pay a little bit more. Women tend to have more of a work-life balance. They tend to maybe be more likely to want to get out of the office at 5:30 to go to the soccer game. They tend to be more likely to choose the sorts of jobs that are meaningful rather than just maximizing their wages by working in the coal mine. You know, the wage gap is just a myth.
Let me ask you about the ratings collapse. As I understand it, a 16% drop in the numbers for the Oscars. Is that true?
Yeah, a huge drop in the ratings. It was the lowest rated Oscars in, I think, 6 years. And the reason is because people knew that one of the big winners were going to be movies that nobody's seen. Nobody's seen Birdman. Nobody really has seen Boyhood. The one movie that was a hit this year that was nominated for a bunch of Oscars, everybody knew American Sniper had no chance of winning anything, and it didn't win anything except the very technical sound effects award.
Right. What about Neil Patrick Harris with the tasteless jokes, the underwear? What was with the underwear?
Well, that was a joke about Birdman, which, again, no one would get that joke because they hadn't seen the movie. But in the movie Birdman, Michael Keaton plays this actor who accidentally gets locked out of a theater. And, you know, it's a one-way door, so he can't get back in the theater. And then in Times Square, so he has to walk all the way around the block through, you know, jeering throngs of people who recognize him from his days when he was a blockbuster action hero. So, you know, as an extended hit joke, and it didn't really make any sense if you had the movie.
Well, I wasn't going to watch him after he did that thing in drag, you know, on the what was it? The Broadway Awards? What are those? The Emmys?
The Tonys.
No, that's TV. The Tonys. I'm sorry. Yeah, I mean, you would think that there's a bigger pool of people out there that they don't have to repeat these people. Anyway, Rudy Giuliani. You know, you say that sure, Obama loves America, just not the America we live in. And I read your piece, and I agree with your piece.
Yeah. Whenever Obama talks about his great, deep, and abiding love for America, there's always an asterisk, right? There's always a but coming. It's always like America could potentially be great, but until I came along and started to fix everything, it really had a lot of problems. I mean, recall Michelle Obama saying, for the first time in my life, I'm proud of America because he'd won a primary or something.
Right. And here's something I tell everybody, so don't feel like I'm preaching or anything, but if you go to the New Yorker magazine, March of 2008, there was a whole cover story of Michelle Obama, and a woman, first name Lauren, I believe, who wrote it, covered of Michelle Obama's stump speech at the time in '08. And it was, we're a downright mean nation, we're a selfish nation. To me, those remarks were even worse than she's never been proud of her country. But that's who Obama surrounds himself with. I mean, I know she's his wife, but you look at the Reverend, you look at the William Ayers, you look at Rashid Khalidi, you look at the Marshall, who basically brought him up politically speaking. That's who he is.
Yeah, I mean, this guy was basically raised in kind of a left-wing campus mindset, and he kind of watered it down a little bit because he didn't think the American public was sophisticated enough to handle his sort of, Ivy League insights into America's sins and America's problems. But you can tell that, his base, his fundamental beliefs are America's a deeply flawed country. Yeah.
Absolutely. And the Constitution, he said that in '01. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. We're coming back. Brian Zimmer's next. Don't go away.